Ringo Starr joined the Beatles in 1962, shortly before the group recorded their first album, and he became one of the most influential drummers of all time. Although he is not in the first position when people list the best drummers of all time, almost all the famous drummers mention him as an inspiration because he always played what the song needed. Even though he is from an older generation, born in 1940, he was in touch with younger drummers in the late 60s and early 70s. One of them is the late legendary Led Zeppelin drummer John Bonham, who tragically passed away in 1980 at the age of 32. They were friends and had the chance to hang out many times. One of Ringo's best friends was the late The Who drummer Keith Moon, who coincidentally passed away like Bonham at the age of 32, but 2 years earlier in 1978. Both of them were known for their wild lifestyle, which ultimately cost their lives. As the Beatles member recalled in an interview with BBC Radio in 2021, those were wild times. But he also said that despite their behavior, they were both beautiful and kind. Well, there were wild times, I can tell you that. Both are beautiful guys. Keith was uncle to my children. We would get derelict. A long time ago, but we would get derelict. And it just happens with John Bonham. We would get derelict. Both beautiful, emotional, loving, kind human beings. But the story of their actions is bigger than they are, Ringo Starr said. But one of the coolest stories told by Ringo was when he invited Bonham and Charlie Watts from the Rolling Stones to go to his house. The musician told that story in 2021 during a press conference. He had a drum kit up in the attic in the 70s, and he went up there with both of his guests. Bonham was known for hitting the drums really hard, unlike his other two friends. So when he started to play, the drum kit started to hop away from him. I had a drum kit up in the attic. It was like a cinema attic, music, whatever you want to do up there. Charlie came, and so did John Bonham. We've got 3 drummers just hanging out. Bonham got on the kit, but because it was just like, it's not like on stage where you nail them down so they're steady. It was just like there. So as he was playing, the bass drum was hopping away from him. You think, man, that would have been a great little video, a TikTok or a photo that would have gone worldwide. But in the 70s, I had parties, and you'll never find any photos because I wouldn't let you take photos, in my house. But I always think that would have been a great shot to have, Ringo Starr recalled. For tax reasons, or to live in a place where the sun shines almost the entire year. The British musicians usually moved to the United States back then, or at least had a house where they stayed for a few months. That was the case of Ringo, who lived in Hollywood, California. He recalled in a picture book called Postcards from the Boys, released by him in 2004, that Bonham used to go to his house all the time just to throw him in the pool. All these houses, all these homes. I was California dreaming at 2 a.m. because L.A. closed down at that time of night. You could hear all the traffic coming to my house. There was a party every night. John Bonham would always get a bee in his bonnet. Wherever he was in L.A., he would drive up to my house, grab me, and throw me in the pool. Day or night. He wouldn't care. I'd be ready, about to go out, and, "No, John, no. No, I'm going to throw you in the pool." He was a very good guy. Well, for a while, and then he sadly left us, Ringo Starr said.